Hey guys, it's Sean. I'm back at my friend Josh's place, and today I am going to show you a black roughneck monitor. As you can see, this guy's getting a little bit wily. That's because he is a juvenile. He gets a little bit scared of stuff, but we're going to get him calmed down here. Let him be able to see everything. Rub his head a little bit. You can see as I rub the head in just a certain spot, he starts to close his eyes and calm down a little bit. Now, these are a really cool monitor from Southeast Asia. And being that they are from Southeast Asia, that means they like to live in very humid climates. So this guy is known for living in mangrove swamps, rainforest type conditions, which means he's very acclimated to lots of different types of environments. Asian monitors especially are really known for not only being able to run on the ground really fast and climb trees really well, but they're also great swimmers. As you can see, he's got very, very sharp claws there. This is part of helping him get up into those trees. A lot of times they'll try to find holes in the trees and to hide in, but they also use it as hunting grounds. These guys like to eat lots of varied types of insects. They'll also go after small birds and small rodents. Just like with other reptiles, they do have a forked tongue that they stick out and flick up and down. And like I mentioned in other videos, there's a part of their brain that helps interpret all those chemicals. So he's what we call an opportunistic carnivore. That means if it's alive and he can fit it in his mouth, he's probably going to try to eat it. And also, these guys can be carrion eaters. Carrion is a special word for animals that are already deceased or have passed away. So he may sometimes find a dead animal on the ground that he normally wouldn't go after to eat, and he will be able to rip it up and chew some stuff. He's got sharp enough claws that if he needs to rip into it, he can, but he's also got some very sharp teeth and a very long pointed snout that helps him get in and be able to eat food out of there. This also helps for when he's in the trees and able to go into tree holes and get insects out of there. Now, black roughneck monitors are known for a very special feature that they have on it, and that's these type of scales here that you can kind of see on his neck that are very pointed. This kind of helps distinguish him from other type of monitor species found out through Southeast Asia. Now, as mentioned, he is a juvenile, so he's kind of small, but this guy can actually end up reaching 3 to 4 feet, and if you count his tail in there, over 5 feet long. Now, the tail helps with a lot of different things in his life. If he gets scared, especially when they're young like this, he can use it as a whip and he'll hit other animals with it. And if he hits someone like me, it can actually welt up or even bruise. Sometimes they can hit hard enough with the tip of their tail that they actually cut you open. His claws are going to be another adaptation that he uses to try to get away, and then biting would actually be the last thing. He's primarily just going to run. Now, the tail also helps with balance. He's running up and down trees, running across branches. This helps him keep his balance as he's going from one branch to another. And then when he happens to go into water, it kind of acts like the rudder on a boat, and he can swim it back and forth, and this helps jet him through the water. Since he's got a very narrow snout and a short little body here, he'll tuck his arms in like this and then use that tail, and that helps propel him through the water. And just like in another video when we talked about green iguanas who like to be in water and jump out of trees, he can do the same thing that they do, where he will use his tail to launch himself up out of water and then grapple onto the trees and get away from potential predators. Now, monitors are very, very smart animals. He was a little bit wily at first. He started to calm down because he realizes that I am not a predator. I'm not something that's going to hurt him. These guys start to recognize people in their environment as who's their owner, who's their friend type of deal. But not only that, they can start to learn their names. They can learn to what we call station train, where you can call them to a certain area. They can target train, where they have to touch a certain object before they get food. And they can even start to distinguish shapes and colors. Different types of lab tests with these guys have shown that they even can count up to words of 5 or 6, and then sometimes distinguish 5 to 6 different colors at a time. So when we do training with these guys, we try different things like that. We'll give them different colors and different shapes. And we give them mazes and things like that to figure out, and they do it very, very quickly. So these end up being one of my favorite species of animals just because of that, because basically they're a scaly little dog. You getting wound up, big guy? I know. Here we go. It's time for your close-up, so let's get you calmed down. There we go. So you can get a good look at his face there. And you see he's checking himself out in the camera. He recognizes that there's another monitor on the screen. This also allows you to see those very cool pointed scales are all going along his neck there. And now he's looking at me wondering what the heck I'm doing. So hope you guys learned a little bit of something about black roughneck monitors, and have a good night.